Hello, my science buddies. Today I am going to complete my science fair project. Okay. So first, I'm just going to tell you guys what fractography is, and it's the study of the pattern and the way things break. And I'm going to show you guys a couple things. So I needed 4 different materials to test out. First, I have regular tile, which is what I'm going to do first. And then I have glass, like window glass, and then auto glass, which is from a car. And then here I have acrylic plastic. So basically the procedure is just I'm gonna do 4 different times. I'm gonna try each thing, and I'm gonna hold a 2 kilogram weight right over the material, which is tile first. And I'm gonna hold it like up here first, and I'm gonna let it go 3 meters. And then after each time, I'm going to bring it a little bit lower, and then to see the difference in the pattern 4 times of the way it breaks. So first, I'm going to use the tile, and I have to use my lovely safety goggles. And put them on now. And then I have to drop it right on the X, so I know where it is. And then I'm going to show you guys how it looks after the different pieces. Oh my god. Okay. Love it. Love it. Okay. So, here's my weight. This is 1.4 kilograms, which is almost 5 pounds, but not quite. And I'm going to take this. I'm going to drop it on here. Okay, so first I'm going to start by using this 3-pound weight, also known as 1.4 kilograms. Do not know why I said 5 pounds last time, forgive me. So I'm going to start with the tile, and I'm going to start at 3 meters right here with this very with this very weight. Wow. I'm going to drop it straight down here, and we're going to notice the pattern of the break. 3, 2, 1. Lord Almighty. Now I will show you guys what it looks like in here.
You can come right over.
It looks great. Okay, so I just dropped the weight on the pieces of tile, and okay, so I counted the pieces, and now there was 13 different pieces of tile from the 3 meters. So now my next part is going to be holding it a little bit lower than 3 meters to see the difference of how many pieces it breaks into. So I'm going to go with the tile again. And I'm going to just put it right in the center of the box. And here's my 3-pound weight. Okay, now we're ready for our second test, which is going to be a little bit lower than 3 meters, so probably here. And I'm going to just put it above here, drop it right in the center. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I just dropped it from 29 inches, and it only had 5 pieces after that. So, and I don't use any force by dropping it, just let it go, just to see. And there's not really a pattern yet, as it went from 13 to 5, so it seems to be getting lower. So I'm just going to go now and make it a little bit lower. And 29, I'm probably going to go to 26 because I have one. No, I'm going to go to 23 because I have one more after this. So here's the middle. And I'm just going to take it from here and just drop it down. Okay, so I just did my 3rd piece, and I held it at 23, and it broke into 12 pieces. So that time, the weight I watched fell flat down onto the tile, and it broke into more than 5 pieces. So that must affect the way that it breaks. So that's one type of pattern. So my last tile is now, and I'm just going to do, next I'll do the acrylic plastic. So I'm going to drop it lower than 23, so probably at about 18 or 17. So I'm going to hold it right here, and I'm just going to, okay, so I'm just going to drop it from 17 now. Right down, flat. Alright. Okay, so here's my tile pieces for the last tile. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last was 12. It fell flat, and I lowered it to 17. So next is the acrylic plastic, and it's completely different, so it's going to be weird to see how this one turns out. It's flat, and weight, I don't know. So I'm going to start it again, once again, at 3 meters from up here onto the acrylic plastic. I'm going to move it to the middle. And, okay, so let's see how this works out at 3 meters. So here we go. Okay, so this was after the 3 meters here, and the 3-pound weight. So here's the acrylic plastic. It did tilt in the video. The weight tilted and landed sideways, kind of, and nothing broke off. But this has a crack in it, so that was for my first one. So let's see what happens next when I hold it lower. So now we're on to our second piece of acrylic plastic. The first piece was just a little crack in it. Nothing broke. So let's just see how this one works out when I go lower with the weight. So I went from 33 3 meters to 29, just like I did with the tile. So let's see how this one works out. Probably going to be a little bit different. I'm going to hold it a little lower here. Alright, so I'm about to drop on here in 3, 2, 1. Okay. So, went flat down in the acrylic plastic, and all that happened was a longer crack in the plastic. So when I got lower, the crack got a little bit bigger, but also the weight went straight down. So it was a big difference from it hitting this way and from it hitting this way. Okay, so this is my third piece of acrylic plastic, and I recently just held it at 29. So I'm going to get a little lower. The last one was a longer crack than the first one, so let's see how this one turns out. I'm going to go down to 23. And I'm going to put this in the middle. Let's see how this one turns out. But I have to keep in mind that depending on the way I tilt it is probably the difference in the crack. So. Okay, so I'm going to drop this in 3, 2, 1. So this one, once again, fell flat down, and the crack was longer than the second one, longer than the first. So it's getting closer to breaking at this end. And the weight was getting lower, so that's probably a pattern. Hello! Okay, so I'm on my last piece of acrylic plastic, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the weight and drop it from the lowest angle, the lowest thing, yep, great, 17. So I dropped it, and hopefully it's going to get a different crack. Okay, so I'm going to drop it from the 17 mark right here. And let's see the difference. 3, 2, 1. Wow. Nothing. Nothing! A little crack. Great. That's just great. We're on to our next part and our third material, which is just regular window glass. Should be great. I'm going to start off at 1 meter again. Right up here, put this in the center, and I'm just going to drop it up here. So 3, 2, 1. Lovely. Okay, so. Alright, so now that I dropped it from that distance, safety goggles come in handy. I'm going to count these little shards of glass. Okay, so now we're on to our second part. The first part was 1 meter, and it had 27 pieces. So now we're on to our second part. I'm going to hold it at 29 inches, and let's see what happens. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now we're on to our third piece. So our first piece was at 1 meter, 27, broken into 27 pieces. Our second piece at 29 inches broke into 24 pieces. So it's getting lower as I'm holding the weight lower. So hopefully that's how it stays. So let's hold it here. Next, I'm going to bring it down to from 29 to 23. And let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm on to my third piece now. It recently just dropped to 24 pieces and 29 inches. So now we're going to 23 inches. And we're going to drop it right in the middle. So let's see what happens. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I can see it bounce around.
Okay, we're on our final piece. Our last one was at 23 inches, and there was 26 pieces. Now we're on to 13 inches.
17.
17 inches. And let's see how it works out. Okay, everyone, this is my assistant, Papa. He helped me find my measurement of 17 instead of 13. Thank you, Papa. I will call you back soon. Okay, so we're at 17 now. Our final piece of glass. Let's see how it works out. 3, 2, 1. Love it! Okay, so at the 17 mark on here, it was 21 pieces with the 3-pound weight. So next, we're going to move on to this, which is the car windshield. And we're going to drop it on there and see how it works out outside. Oh, I didn't see you there. Let's start. So now we're off to our grand finale here with our auto glass / car window. Okay, so I have my 3 pounds, and I'm going to drop it from 3 meters dead to the middle. So, 3, 2, 1. Wow, okay. So, I think it's shattered. Now I'm going to count them. Okay, so I didn't get an exact amount like I wanted to, but for my, I'm just going to guess that there's about 70 to 80 pieces, and that I only had to do it once, obviously, and there's many patterns while going over fractography.